going to screw around at all. No funny unit compositions. We're not going to see any carriers. We're not going to see, you know, landed Vikings walking across the map in battle. This is going to be all real, all Gosu. Notice right now that they actually spam click quite a bit, and that's just something you do to keep your hands moving. At pro level, you really don't want to just sit idly ever. You want to always be playing at a very high speed so that you can react very quickly, and that's one of the main reasons for doing this. It keeps them in rhythm. You don't want to have to jump up and down your rhythm. For instance, let's say you're just sitting there doing nothing, and then you get rushed, you suddenly have to jump your rhythm way up. But if you've already been spamming around like this, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable. You're already moving at the speed that you need to successfully defend with that quick rush, and it's just a lot easier. So that's why we see them kind of do it that way. Now, Daybreak is the longest pro map right now. It's just a very long map overall. It takes a long time to get to your opponent. Now, that actually helps out Protoss a lot. You know, Terran wants to be a little bit closer because, you know, with their Marine Marauder balls, they can be a little bit volatile. If they just kind of roll out at a random time, and you don't have the units in place, you don't have the sentry energy, something like that, they can just kill you. Whereas with Protoss, if you're far enough away, that helps you because it's hard for people to attack you, but at the same time, you can attack quickly because of warping. You just throw a pylon down near their base, and you instantly warp in your entire army. There's no travel time whatsoever. So the bigger the map in general, the more it favors Protoss in this matchup. Very standard play from Pokebunny here that iNcontroL sees. And it's just a one barracks with no gas that iNcontroL scouted. So right now iNcontroL is going to be thinking, okay, this is going to be a quick expansion. In fact, that's exactly what it is, but iNcontroL gets his probe there and throws on a pound. A great move by iNcontroL. Pokebunny wanted to make a command center there, and iNcontroL just says, no, I'm not going to let you do what you want to do ever. So just slowing down a little bit, he'll probably in fact even cancel that because of course you can lift off your command center and float it in, and there you go, he cancels it, and for 25 minerals he delayed the command center where it would be built, and just kind of annoyed Pokebunny. Pokebunny now scouting iNcontrol's base, and by the looks of it, it looks like iNcontroL wants to go for a one gateway expansion. It's basically the mirror build to what Pokebunny is doing, both of them getting just minimal buildings that can make units and wanting to expand. We'll have to see if that's exactly what iNcontroL wants to do. And in fact, the SCD coming down, and it did see the Nexus go up. So Pokebunny now knows that yes, in fact, he just wants to go ahead and take that very quick expansion. Meanwhile, iNcontroL has not been able to scout Pokebunny again, but there was a lot of tells. He's pretty certain that Pokebunny is going for that fast expansion. There's not a lot of builds that, you know, he can actually switch into once he sees that command center try to go down. Playing some mind games right now. The Stalker, though, is going to figure out exactly what's going on. Just a little bit of micro against the range. A little bit of miss micro there, actually. Taking a lot of damage from the Stalker, but not losing it. That's the more important part, just not losing it. Pokebunny, yeah, he had a bunker going up there, as iNcontroL saw. And that's what you do when you're making an expansion. You need that bunker because, of course, Stalkers can outrange Marines, do outrange Marines, and can out-micro them. Even though in that situation, iNcontrol's micro a little bit off. And again, if you're planning on trying to beat iNcontroL this weekend, remember that in general his strengths are things like intelligence and macro, and micro is one place that you might be able to get a leg up on it. I just want you guys to win. So neither of them really having good intel on each other right now. They just know that while there's expansions up, they can't really scout what each other are doing, but there's a set number of builds that can really be done here by top players, the other ones will just be destroyed. So they're going to be narrowing down their heads. Okay, this is iNcontroL is probably doing one of 3 builds. Pokebunny, he's probably doing one of 4 builds on this map. And of course, iNcontroL with that robotics bay, with that robotics, you're going to get an observer out. And that's going to tell them both exactly what each other are doing. Pokebunny has seen the shimmer of the invisible observer that has scouted him. So iNcontroL now knows what Pokebunny is doing because he has the observer over there. And Pokebunny knows at least that iNcontroL went for a very fast robotics after his expansion. That very fast robotics gives him a lot of information. It means, okay, there's not going to be any DTs too quickly. And if there are, they're going to be extremely risky. There's not going to be blink quite yet. There's, you know, it just shows that iNcontroL is playing a safe and solid game. Pokebunny. Well, I can't say actually. Alright, there we go. He's attacking those rocks out. iNcontroL sees that. So he's going to sit at the top of that ramp. He's not actually scared at this point. Pokebunny is just posturing. With all those sentries mixed in there, he can do some really good force fields if Pokebunny tries to come up the ramp. And that could put Pokebunny in a lot of trouble. You cannot lose a big chunk of army early on in this matchup, or it just will spiral out of control. Players just continuing on very normal courses in their bases. Neither of them actually getting all that much scouting though, actually. Pokebunny did have a well-placed Marine at the third base that just was taken out by iNcontroL, and that was just to watch for when iNcontroL wants to take a third base. That's a very important part of this matchup. When exactly is Protoss going to take that third? When exactly is Terran going to either attack that third or take the third themselves, and perhaps a fourth? iNcontrol's observer, as we just saw there, seeing the army, seeing how big it is. He has a lot of information on how scary Pokebunny is right now. Notice that beautiful spread that Pokebunny is doing. That's so if iNcontroL does attack up there, it's going to be a lot easier for Pokebunny to defend it. In fact, we will see if anything like that happens. And iNcontroL actually poking up a little bit. Pokebunny getting back in position, not rushing anything. He's saying, all right, you take a couple steps too much and I will go. That is exactly how you're supposed to do it here. iNcontroL with some really nice pokes. He's trying to lure Pokebunny into attacking into it so that he can have a better positional advantage. If he goes all the way into the concave, into the heart of Pokebunny's units, Pokebunny will crush the army. But if Pokebunny comes and attacks too early, his units will clump up too much, Colossus will kill them off, and iNcontroL will gain. Really high-level moves are seen by both players here. Full information on what the other is doing. They're going to have to decide exactly how they want to do that. Whether you send flying units, whether you send some workers out. It's really up to you. iNcontroL, he has more information than Pokebunny. It's that really nice pylon we just saw. We saw the medevac. And then we have, and he is in fact in position to catch that medevac and trying to warp in some stalkers. Didn't quite have enough warp gates cooled down to actually kill that off. So the medevac just barely lives there by Pokebunny. A good move, saving that medevac, actually very important. A lot of energy is on that. He needs to keep those alive. They're very expensive. But now Pokebunny is, you know, with that drop, he's shown that at least he wants to be on the map at this point. So iNcontroL is going to have to stay mindful of that. He's going to have to know, okay, drops can be coming. I have to watch out for those. I have to watch for protection. That's a good scan by Pokebunny there. He has a nice little group of Vikings. Those Vikings are going to be used to target down the Colossus as best he can. Control posturing a bit. The Vikings in a very good location to try to take out that Colossus, and they take one out for free. At the same time, Pokebunny attacking that third base. And in fact, the Colossus being attacked once again, but now the Vikings flying into the wrong area, getting too much damage on him. Pokebunny with a beautiful sim. Great force fields by iNcontroL, but no, his Colossus just gets targeted down, and now iNcontrol's in trouble. Those Colossus getting targeted down so quickly were absolutely key there by Pokebunny. If those Colossus had all been able to attack, then he would have been able to crush that army. But instead, picking them off with the Vikings, and then when they were a little bit too forward, Pokebunny targeted them down, and now Pokebunny is in a great spot. He knows it. He's killed the third base, and he's killed all the splash damage within the army of iNcontroL. So killing off all that splash damage to the Colossus, or any High Templars, Archons, that type of unit, is worth so much. If you don't have splash damage, the medevacs become too powerful, and the Terran army is overwhelming. So at this point, Pokebunny's going to know, okay, I'm in a good spot. I can kind of sit around, do whatever I want. I can attack more, I can defend more. I'm ahead of iNcontroL. He can't really do much to me right now. iNcontroL, though, absolutely not out of this game, even though Pokebunny took that lead. You know, Protoss definitely capable of comebacks nowadays in Protoss vs. Terran. Between Colossus and High Templars, you can get such a cost-efficient army that Terran still has to try throughout the entire game. Vikings coming across the map again, and a nice kickoff right there by the Stalker. The army of Pokebunny coming down though. That is a huge, huge army that iNcontroL just saw. He's got to be careful here. That is a lot of damage being dealt, and some Psy Storms are being laid down. These Psy Storms have to be perfect though. Pokebunny did take a nice little lead earlier on, and really good Psy Storms there by iNcontroL, fighting off Pokebunny for now. And another good storm. This force field's a little bit off, but iNcontroL handled that battle well. He's got to be careful though. He doesn't want to lose any more Zealots over there. He is a little bit low on units compared to where he wants to be right now. So he has to be very mindful of each and every one. And those Psy Storms really saved iNcontrol's life. He had to get some more splash damage. He got those at a really good time. And now the game is much more even than it was before that battle. iNcontroL really didn't lose anything too valuable, and did enough damage to the army that, you know, he's going to feel good about it. A little drop by Pokebunny over here. iNcontroL just warping in Zealots to clean it up. It's a very common tactic. Instead of moving your whole army, you leave some of your supply. Even when you're maxed out, oftentimes you'll see Protoss is sitting on about 190 supplies, so they can warp in enough units to actually just clean up any drops that come in. Pokebunny right now does know about iNcontroL having taken that third base again. Pokebunny attacking up the ramp of iNcontroL, but iNcontroL is attacking Pokebunny at the same time. And if iNcontroL can get some good storms off, this will be big, but they don't have energy right now. Now this looks like it's going to be a base trade scenario. Both players just attacking into each other, just trying to kill each other. Normally these actually go a little bit better for Terran. They're a little bit more mobile, they can heal up with the medevacs. But iNcontroL, he has Colossus and High Templar as well as Sentry, so look at that. Oh my god, amazing Psy Storms here. And he's actually just going to crush through this part of the army of Pokebunny. But don't forget, Pokebunny has a huge army at iNcontrol's main base. This is absolutely a base trade scenario. I'm getting some pretty sick nerd chills over here. And iNcontroL, oh, he's got to be careful. He's actually losing a lot of units at Pokebunny's base very sloppily. Those SCVs doing a great job buffering the Zealots so that his units could kill off a bunch. And now iNcontrol's army is a little bit weak here. Take a look at that army. It's not actually that good an army. He cannot lose any of these Colossi. They're so important. A good micro pulling that one Colossi back. And he is going to clean this up. And the base trade scenario will, in fact, go on. But it feels like Pokebunny right now has a slightly superior army. iNcontroL has to be very careful with every move he does from here. And look at this, Pokebunny showing off the Terran race and why they're so good in base trades, or at least part of the reason, lifting off a ton of buildings. Oh, that was a good move. Trapping those SCVs was a brilliant move, because if those SCVs get out, he can rebuild his economy very quickly with command centers.
Okay then.
Notice Pokebunny floating that command out. A lot of probes with the army of iNcontroL. Something very important is about to happen, and bam, there it is. iNcontroL is being revealed. He has no nexus, so now Pokebunny gets to see every building iNcontroL has on the map. That's all he gets to see extra. He doesn't get to see the army or where the army is. Of course, he can see that because it's attacking his stuff, but basically right now, he sees all the buildings, and he can say, okay, I'm going to go kill all these, but iNcontroL did bring all these probes over to Pokebunny's base, and so he can build more buildings. He can force his game absolutely to go on further. In fact, we notice right there, he has thrown down an additional pylon, and Pokebunny, of course, does know that. Now, the mobility of Terran is really going to help him out here. And look at that. That's going to be a frustrating thing for iNcontroL to see right there, that there are mules, the barracks are landing, and he can get back into his production right away. Pokebunny in a great spot right now. Definitely favored to win this, but not necessarily going to win. iNcontroL with very few buildings left. You can see them blinking the bottom left of that mini-map. He's not even going to look at him. He knows they're dying. That's fine. He has some money. He's built a pylon over on this side. iNcontroL just looking to be cost efficient in any way he possibly can. Starting to finally kill those depots down there. That's very important. Remember, he landed all those barracks, so he had enough supply to actually start making marines. Uh-oh, here comes Pokebunny, and he's got to be so careful about this. Pokebunny's army is very fearsome. His army is better, but again, iNcontroL has the units that, if microed right, can make a huge difference here. And those were beautiful feedbacks. Just taking all the energy off the medevacs. Nothing can be healed now until they regain that energy. And if nothing can be healed and he hits a couple good-sized storms and has his Colossus do a little bit of damage, oh, look at that beautiful size storm. A risky move, but a good move by iNcontroL. Trying to push down, realizing he needs to get something to happen. Uh-oh, he misses that size storm, and it looks like Pokebunny may have enough units here. iNcontroL just looks like he has barely not enough. This has been a fantastic and super, super close game by these two. But it looks like that is going to be it. GG! Guys, give it up for Pokebunny. That was just such a close and wonderful game. A treat to watch, a treat to commentate. Wow. So Pokebunny is going to win a prize. iNcontrol's only loss today. Super close game, though. That was pretty great. What do you think about that game, Jeff?
It was good. I have a tough time. I think I take a third too fast oftentimes. So when they get that bike composition gets fast velocities, they can overrun you. I need to stick around, get Templar early, and take a later third. So if he doesn't snipe that third, my army's bigger, and we have the big clash. He has no ghost, so I think I win. But I keep making that mistake.
Oh, exactly. That's what it was. And wow, Pokebunny actually getting a HyperX SSD.
Can you show it up?
That is totally
good job, man. Good job.
Pokebunny.
Thank you.
I'll take a picture of that real quick. Then I'll talk to him.
Everywhere.
Congratulations. Look over here. Smile.
I like the pose.
Try again. Don't move. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Alright, so Pokebunny, tell me about that game.
I actually think I was a little bit of a tough spot before the base trade because he had storms and my ghosts were really late. But the base trade really helped me because storms made it pretty much impossible for me to do aggression like straight up into his army. So, but I mean, a base trade pretty much always favors Terran, especially when I get into his main when he's going for an expansion, because I can cut off his warp gate production and I can, I whittled down a lot of his army by continually reinforcing from my main, and so that was more than enough to finish it off. I made a few control mistakes, but in the base trade scenario, it pretty much always favors Terran, so it ended up alright.
Very well said. Guys, give it up for Pokebunny again. A really great game that he just showed us there. Really good play by both players.